Hey guys, Aaron Jackson coming to you today. Hope you're doing well. And what I wanted to talk to you today about is an intro into double stops. And as far as stylistically with my playing, my fortes are rock, blues, and country. And whenever I'm getting somebody that's, maybe interested in learning some country guitar or some chicken picking or something along those lines, I kind of start them off with this little exercise, but I wanted to add this here. This thing can work in any style, whether you're playing jazz, whether you're playing rock, whether you're playing metal, whatever you're playing. Learning what I'm going to show you here will really benefit you regardless of what style that you're playing here. And what I start people off with here is kind of what I call an intro to double stops. And, for some of you that might not know, what that term is, for a lot of years I would read about that term in like guitar magazines, and I never knew exactly what it meant. It's just when you play two notes at one time. That's it. That's really what a double stop is. So if I play, that's a double stop. Or if I play, that can be a double stop too. When you get into kind of the application of where you might hear them, sometimes you'll hear it in this really kind of bluesy sort of, like that kind of Hendrixy kind of. That's one way of using them. Another way, like if you're in the chicken picking stuff. And that's another way of using them too. So what I like to start people with here is just this kind of sort of introductory exercise to this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a G major scale, but I'm not going to play it like going across the strings. I'm going to come up here and we're going to go up the neck. We're going to go just like that. And then I'm going to harmonize that scale in thirds. I'm not going to get too into the theory of it right now, but essentially B is a major third up from G right here, and then we'll just kind of ascend the scale by harmonizing it that way. So I'm going to come over here, and we're going to start right here. We're going to do, so down here, ring finger is on the 5th fret of the 4th string, middle finger is on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. So we've got, and then we're going to come up here. I'm on the 7th of the 4th, the 5th fret of the 3rd. Take that same pattern and move it up. Now my ring finger is going to come up to the 10th fret, middle finger is going to come up to the 9th. I'm going to take that and move it up 2 frets, same deal. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to do, ring finger 14th fret, pinky finger 12th. Take that same shape and move it up. And then up here. Okay, so we've got. And then we can come back down. Yeah, so now you've got. And what I tell people to do is just to get familiar with that pattern. Think of it like that. I do like kind of going this way on the neck instead of going this way on the neck with the double stops. You can do that. Or and you can do that, but I like starting right here. And I tell people to just kind of get familiar with that. maybe find a backing track or even just record yourself playing some chords and just kind of mess around with those. So that's one way of doing it. Now, another cool thing about these double stops, especially these particular ideas, you can turn those into single note ideas, but based around these double stop patterns that sound really cool. So again, instead of going through and playing both notes at the same time, we can go through and play them once, which sounds really cool. And then you can do it coming back down. We can do. Which gives it a really cool. It gives it a really cool sound, and it opens up the doors to a lot of really cool single note ideas that you can do, but that are based around these double stop patterns. So again. Okay, so that's another way of thinking about those. Here is another one. It's kind of like we're sort of walking in between these little double stop spaces here. Kind of like this, like so for this one, I'm actually starting down here. We're going. So those notes, you could pick them, or I think you could also slide them too, and it sounds cool. Like, and then coming down, we could do. So going up and coming back down, we've got. Okay. So that's just another way of looking at these double stops. So the first way that we did was just going through again, and this is just a harmonized G major scale in thirds. We're doing it. And then another way that we can do that is we can play the notes individually as opposed to playing them as double stops. But they're single note ideas that are based around the double stops. So. And then another way we can approach this is you're almost kind of like walking in between these shapes, like. So that's kind of a place that I like to start people with, like an introduction to double stops or an introduction to chicken picking. Although what we're playing right here is by no means limited to one style of playing. I mean, you could use these ideas clearly in pretty much any style. And then I guess one other thing here with this little, you can move that sequence around to some other places on the neck, and the sequence stays the same. So for instance, I'm playing a G and a B on my 4th and 3rd string. I could come up to my 2nd and 1st strings and I can do, and then go through and do the exact same sequence right there. Okay, and then keep coming down after that. So you can just find the G note on the second string, the B note on the first, and then you can go through and the sequence is the exact same thing. And I guess you could also do that on the fifth string. Whoops. Kind of run out of real estate up there. But anyway, that's an introduction to double stops, an introduction to some of this chicken picking stuff. And yeah, mess around with that. Get really familiar with that pattern. Because it has a lot of really cool applications that you can apply to a lot of really cool musical ideas when you get familiar with that pattern. All right, more coming. Stay tuned. See you next time. Peace.